This is what Cyrus, king of Persia, says. The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth and has appointed me to build a temple for him at Jerusalem in Judah. That's quite a good start for us, really, because let's fill in, if we can, on the historical background of all this. I mean, why does Ezra spend these first 6 chapters giving us this historical background? Ken, help us.
Well, this is a great book of history, but it's also a book of amazing theology because it retells the story of God's salvation, from exile and separation right through to return and restoration of true worship and the sacrifices. In a way, it's like the second Exodus. Yeah. So I've always been quite surprised by preachers who seem to gravitate towards the story of Nehemiah, which is the latest story of the building of the city and the building of the walls. It's a great story. But what about the building of the temple? Isn't that an important story for us to learn from? The historical context is that back in the 7th century BC, Assyria has effectively assimilated the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes. The southern kingdom hangs on by a thread. The Babylonians take over. Eventually, the Babylonians lose patience with Jerusalem and the kings of Judah. And so the Babylonian army sacks Jerusalem and burns the temple to the ground.
Is that 586 or something like that?
It is, yes. And Jeremiah, of course, had predicted this. But he'd also prophesied that within 70 years, the temple would be rebuilt.
Wow.
So it was a shattering experience. And we know today that people who were displaced by war undergo such terrible things.
All the refugees around the world, millions. Yeah.
Exactly. And who could have imagined then that within less than 50 years of the temple being destroyed, the Babylonian Empire would be overrun by a new empire, the Persian Empire, with King Cyrus the Great. So this relocation was a massive moment in the history of the ancient church. And I think the whole book of Ezra, why I'm so excited about it, is it really shows the sovereignty of God in history. It shows his faithfulness in protecting his people and preserving his people. And it also shows that the church outlasts all these empires.